All right, so this is gonna be the last video before Gekishin is live, probably Tuesday night my time. We're not entirely sure yet, but if you want to see me play live Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing a big stream. Go check that out. My link tree is in the description. I'm going to do here a tier list of like how hyped am I for these characters. Oh, I should probably say hype. There we go. I forgot to type one of them out. So we got a few tiers here. We have bum. There is one bum. We have not hyped, which are like characters that I just think are like the opposite of hype, you know, not hype. We have which is like we have plus, which is like but like maybe you raise an eyebrow. We have hyped, which are just like cool characters that I think will be fun, are fun concepts. If the goat didn't exist, maybe I'd play him a little bit. Goats are like, I think they're such well designed characters, and if I didn't simp so hard for the one, I would be like maining these guys. And then him, there's only one, and it's him. So down here we have all the characters in Gekishin Squadra by release order, sorted by role. So we have the original batch, which ends at Boo. We have the second batch, which ends at Caulifla, and then we have the third batch, which is ending at Hit. So let's just jump in, right? Goku. How are we feeling about Goku? I think the character is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think the character is pretty fun. But I have such like massive gripes with him, where like his design is so flawed. He has a comeback mechanic where you want your teammate to die so you can do more damage to the person that killed him, but you're a damaged character, so you're not super tanky. So like if you are a man down in a fight, how much do you really want to commit? It's super niche passive, but the character is actually so much fun to play. I did have him in initially not hyped, but I'm gonna move him up to because like how much fun his kit is to actually use and like how fast he moves actually kind of carries him as a character. Next up we have Piccolo. I did want to go into like details about these characters, so if you are here and like don't really care about the tier list, stick around for like info on the characters. I do think Goku has like potential alongside Vegeta. Or if you're playing in like tech, I mean Krillin, probably Gohan, maybe probably not Gohan, because Goku wants to dive. I guess yeah, you want to play with Krillin, maybe 17. I don't know. I just think his kit's so whack, like his passive, and then oh yeah, you want your teammates to die, but then your ultimate wants all of your teammates to be alive. It's so weird, but he's so much fun. Piccolo I'm gonna put not hyped. As much as I love Piccolo, he plays like a very situationally aware ADC from other MOBAs. I'm gonna be using a lot of MOBA terms this video probably, so be careful of that. If you don't know MOBA terms, maybe watch my character reveals or character breakdowns and you might pick up on what I'm saying. So he plays like a very position based like awareness ADC, where you have to constantly be aware of where you are, what's going on, you have to space correctly. But I don't find him very fun. I think you'll get really hyped special beam cannons, but that's like where the fun stops, and I'm just gonna leave him in not hyped. Android 18. Android 18's hype. This character's a lot of fun. You can chain together a lot of kills. She plays very fast in the sense of like you fight someone and one of you is dead. She's very like true designed assassin, where it's like you're in, you're out, like boom boom, plays over. Very frail, does a ton of damage, super scary. This hurts. I'm putting Trunks in plus. As much as I love the character, Trunks himself, my second favorite Dragon Ball character is Trunks. He's just not very interesting. He's an assassin, but he's boring. The only interesting thing about him is his cooldowns reset on kills, in a 4v4 environment, it's less likely you get value out of that than a 5v5 like a normal MOBA. It's just kind of yeah, he's just a boring assassin, honestly. Vegeta, I'm also gonna put in A+. He's very, very good. He works amazingly with a ton of characters. Like, there's no bad partner for Vegeta. He's just not very entertaining. He's very, very basic. So I'm putting him in A+. Like, yeah, gameplay wise, I'd probably put him in like not hyped, but he's very good, so he'll get a lot of play, and he is Vegeta, so you know, plus points for being the Giga Chad. Cooler, I'm gonna put him in Eh. Cooler, really cool character. Like, if we're just like, if you told me Cooler was the next character, I'd be like, goats. Again, another very boring character. He has a kit that reads like it's going to be interesting, and then you're like, oh, but even when he does new stuff, he doesn't do any new stuff, really. He does have one of my favorite attacks in all of the anime, which is Death Chaser. That's the one where he dashes like through the air, grabs Goku, drags him along the ground, pins him up against the wall, and then drives him back down to the ground. I love that attack, and it is in the game. Yeah, he's like kind of a bog standard. He doesn't have amazing peel. He's not a raid boss like Caulifla or Zamasu. He's just kind of riding the line, and he's very much so riding the line of entertainment. yeah, Zamasu is him. Very fun kit, playing around camps, works well with just about any character you could partner him with. He's not super skill expressive, but he's also not brain dead easy. Like, he kind of is, but at the point where the game's going to be at a launch date, people are not going to know how to play him correctly. You have to play around your farm. You have to be aggressive early game. You have to be aware of your meter. You have to pre-farm your meter before entering fights. But man, Zamasu is just he's so much aura as a character. He's so cool. I love him. My one trick, he has my heart. Love Zamasu. Kid Gohan, I did not care about this character even slightly when the game came out, but re-looking at his kit, he is actually somewhat interesting. I do hate that it's Kid Gohan though. Cool, he's an interesting Link support, which normally are cringe, like Yumi, Aphrodite. I hate both of those characters. Aphrodite from Smite, Yumi from League of Legends. Gohan is by far the least cringe Link support I have ever seen. Krillin, I don't care about Krillin as a character. I don't care about his kit. Yeah, he was probably the second strongest character in the stress test. He has no bad lane partners. Gohan works great with like with non-assassins, so like Piccolo and Super Uub, which we'll talk about later. Krillin has no bad partners. He's just super consistent, can kind of do it all. He is great. I'll put him in Eh. He's gonna get a lot of playtime for sure. Speaking of Boo. I hate this character's kit. He is the most true support, I think, from the tech role. He is a lot of CC. I just don't like playing against him, don't like playing as him, don't care about Fat Boo. Yeah, he's just kind of joining 17 or 18, sorry, Deborah. Yeah, the petrification mechanic is cool. He was way too oppressive in the stress test. He was incredibly frustrating to play against. I think if he was balanced correctly, he'd actually be really fun to play as and play against. Fairly skill expressive, though not overly. I think it's somewhat a plays itself character. Bojack, yeah, not hyped. Very boring, like I would say almost mage character. Like I would say he's the first true mage damage character probably. You might say that about Daim Goku, but yeah, he's just like, the only really cool thing about him is, I guess, like him scaling with level where he gets his partners, right? But the big AoE slow is pretty cool, and then his ult is devastating. But outside of that, he's just got such boring gameplay. He is a cool character, like Bojack's cool. It's interesting that Bojack's included in the roster already. He's just like, yeah, just not hype at all. Boring gameplay, like not fun to watch gameplay. He feels slow. Super Uub, I'm gonna put him an F plus. I'm not an ADC player, so that's part of it. He is definitely like a true ADC. I think it's interesting the way they handled like making a character that's based around his rush attacks. High level players make this character look nuts and make this character look way more fun than he probably actually is to play. I think if you're watching this character, like, he's GOAT tier to watch. To actually play and like my interest in him, I also just don't care about Uub. I'm gonna put in A plus. He's raising my eyebrow. Frieza. I think the most slept on character in the recent test, Frieza, using Zarbon Doria being a turret character. I think Gekishin has done a great job of introducing a lot of character archetypes on launch. Like, already having a turret character is pretty interesting. I think Frieza is great for defenses. Frieza's utility doesn't really fall off that much, even if you fall behind. I think Frieza really does struggle in the early game, though. Like, if you're laning with a Frieza, you're probably miserable because you're probably falling behind in whatever DPS you are. So I think if you're going to be laning with a Frieza, man, if you're laning with a Frieza, like, what are you playing? Bojack? Maybe. You want to play something like slower. Like, when I say slower, I mean like you're playing back a bit, you're just respecting the early game. I think maybe Bojack, yeah, could be what you'd want to play with it. Daim Goku. I think Daim Goku is a good introduction for Frieza's partner. Yeah, overall I think pretty hyped. Baby, I'm gonna put an F plus. I love Super Baby too. I don't know why we went with this version of Baby. I think the stealing body mechanic is cool if it works on launch. It didn't work for the first couple days of the stress test. Maybe it was just the first day. Outside of the body snatch, I don't think the character is incredibly interesting, other than like he has like that AoE shock thing, which is okay. I don't love when my tank leaves the fight, which he does to when he possesses ally. He is very, very strong. He was arguably the best character during the stress test. I'm just not super interested in him, but he is an F plus. He has raised my eyebrow. Like, I'll keep an eye on him. Another tank that I'm gonna keep an eye on, Caulifla. She has an interesting, like, the taunt mechanic, where is it called taunt? I forget that. I think that's what it's called. Maybe not. I forget what it's called now. But where if she hits you, you deal less damage to her. She is exclusively a raid boss. She doesn't have peel. She is not supporting. She is just a raid boss, which, like, while I don't think her kit is incredibly fun to play, the fact that she is purely a raid boss, like, Zamasu is a raid boss, but he can do other things. Caulifla is just the raid boss. I think it's interesting. I think she can be kind of interesting to play around. Like, how well can you ignore the Caulifla? So yeah, I'm just gonna leave her an A plus. Now, Daim Goku is actually a GOAT, and I'm so surprised. This dude has such cool shit. The Pansy Grenade, like the whole Gloria Lightning, him being able to, like, is it like the Ki Blast that he can... Let me pull up Daim Goku real quick. I want to, like, fully respect what this dude's doing, because he is so cool. Sorry. Probably just blasted the stream. Oh yeah, his rush attack getting, like, longer. Like, that's so cool, dude. Right, so yeah, he uses like he has the pansy wasabi bomb, but he can like he can push it with the power pole, which is cool. Or like it's a large explosion struck. He has like a lot of synergy with his abilities, right? So like a lot of skill expression within the synergy. The Swift Spark, where he gets immune to all, so he can just like eat a spirit bomb and then deal extra damage because he ignored an ult. I think this character has a lot of skill expression and is really cool, and I think this character is gonna be a lot of fun. I think he'll work super well with like Krillin. He could work okay with Gohan. I think he can work okay with Frieza. If we're talking like bot lane, oh, I think he'll work great with 17, by the way. If we're talking bot lane, who's he work well with in bot lane? Like, who's a tank he works super well with? I mean, like, everyone works well with Vegeta. Could play him with Zamasu. You could probably throttle early game with him and Zamasu, I suppose. Anyway, next up is... What am I doing here? Next up is the Gamas, which I'm putting in hyped. The Gamas are cool. So they have like a limited health bar, but if you lose one, the other comes in. The ability to be like a tag unit. I know we love using that in the Dragon Ball Gacha realm. It's very interesting. I'm curious to see how good they'll be. I don't think their kit's definitely like heavily like all of the interest is around the fact that you're playing two characters at once. Yeah, they could be way too strong. I'm just like, I think the concept is really hype. I don't think like their kit in isolation is necessarily interesting, like their abilities. It's just the fact that it's two of them. A character I do think has an interesting kit is Cell. I'm gonna put him in hype, though he's really riding the line to GOAT. The only thing I think I have with Cell where he's not a GOAT is he's a bit too simple. So he brings the new transformation mechanic where he has to absorb energy to be able to transform, which is very cool. But then like outside of that, he's a pretty run-of-the-mill tank, though he does have an isolation ult where he forces a 1v1. And he's just like mega tanky in that 1v1. This is actually like one of the things that sucks about the game is how hard it is to defend the Dragon Orb, the end game, where you stop the enemy from getting the Dragon Ball. Cell being able to isolate a target and take them out of the game is actually going to be super useful for that. I think like Cell Frieza is actually a pretty good tech tank duo for like just being impossible to siege. Kale Berserk. I think an interesting mechanic where when you ult, it's basically a stance switch where you just lose your abilities. I just don't think it looks fun, and I don't like Kale as a character. I wish we would have went with someone else. I wish we would have got Broly. Though I hope Broly has a more interesting kit than Kale does. When Kale's not transformed, she's like a zoning DPS, which is sort of eh. She's like a mage that stance switches into a bruiser. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. Yeah. Android 17. This character, oh, dude, so close. Like, if I could have two hymns, oh yeah. 17 is such a well-designed tech, like actual good support, like ability block support. The character has skill expression. This dude looks sick, and I don't think he's going to have a single bad partner, and I'm so excited to finally have a tech unit that I actually want to play. I can't play. I don't think I tried playing Frieza. I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I'm not managing Zara Doria. People who are good at Frieza, I think, will make this character shine. It ain't gonna be me. This character I actually want to play so badly. He is gonna be so cool. And then Hit's just a bum, dude. Why is he not if this character was a DPS, was a damage character, if you make this character a damage character, easily hyped, possibly a GOAT. Dude, I don't want my support to be sitting in stealth all game, man. Who designed this? Who thought this was a good idea? Why is he a tech? That's so weird. You're telling me if I want this bum on my team, I have to give up Krillin? I have to give up blinds? Like, are attacked, like attack. I have to give up attack downs. I have to give up stims. I have to give up damage immunity. I have to give up all of that, like I have to give up CC plus damage for this dude to sit in a bush all game? Come on. How is this dude gonna farm with me? How is he gonna support me while I'm farming? He's gonna be sitting back in a bush. I think this dude's a bum, and I hit so popular and people love stealth characters, so he's gonna get locked in constantly and it's gonna drive me insane. But yeah, that's the tier list. From him to bum, Zamasu to hit. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I've offended you because you're a really big Bojack fan and you think he's just the coolest MOBA character ever. Yeah. Who is your him? That's what I wanted. Who's your him? Is Cell your him? Is 17 your him? If 17's your him, I get it, dude. I get it. If Cell's your him, you're just a filthy Mordekaiser one trick in League of Legends, aren't you? But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you for watching. There's probably videos on screen right now. Give those a watch if you haven't already. I am looking forward to the stream Wednesday, and I'll catch y'all later. Bears out. Peace.